Hey cruisers, welcome back to another Cruise Report food and dining review. Today we're talking about Holland America Rotterdam. We just got off of a 10-day, turned out to be 11-day cruise. And we ate at most, if not, I don't think we ate at all the dining venues, but we covered a lot of them. So let's talk about it. Okay, I'm going to start out with what everybody wants to know about. They want to know about the buffet. Ricky and I are not big buffet eaters. You know that if you watch our videos. But the Lido Market on Holland America, they do a very good job. One of the things we love about Holland America is they have the crew serving the food. So it's not a self-service buffet. We have always, even before COVID, we have always been kind of grossed out by the idea of 1,000 or 2,000 people touching all these utensils to get their food. At the very least, we think the cruise lines should put plastic gloves or something to use to hold on to those utensils. But they don't. So we prefer buffets where the crew members actually serve the food, which they do on Holland America. I know some people don't like that because they're afraid they're not going to get enough to eat. Trust me, you will get enough to eat. You can always ask for more. And the food quality in the buffet was better than most. Better than I remember from Amsterdam, actually back in 2019. So I think they've maybe improved the food, or I don't know. We were very pleased with the food in the buffet. One evening we had dinner in the buffet, and I had like an Indian chicken tikka masala as well as some biryani rice and some lamb kebab. And I'm telling you, it was excellent. It was some of the best Indian dishes I've had certainly on a cruise ship buffet, and maybe on a cruise ship period. It was very, very good. Now, the New York Deli and Pizza is kind of the Lido deck poolside, even though it's one deck above the pool, but it's kind of their poolside pizza place. You can also get sandwiches here for lunch. You can get at the evening, I think they have popcorn for the movies by the pool, things like that. So they're open during the day from they're open early in the morning because you can get breakfast there, and it's kind of a little known thing that they have breakfast. And it, in our opinion, is the best breakfast on the ship. They have these little bagel sandwiches with eggs and cheese, and it's very, very good. And they also will make, egg dishes to order. They have scrambled eggs, bacon. It's I think they kind of do it to offload some of the stress on the buffet and the dining room. But little insider tip, best breakfast we had on the ship was at the New York Deli and Pizza. Now, let's talk about the pizza. Pizza's better than I remember from Amsterdam in 2019. They've done something. They've changed the recipe, I think. The dough was crisper. The pizza was a little bigger. It was probably 12 inches in diameter. Ricky and I each had our own pizza. I thought the pizza was good, not great. Not the best pizza I've had on a cruise ship by any stretch, but still, it was acceptable. The pizza I had on Amsterdam just wasn't very good at all. Now, they also offer pizza by the slice. They have like a big pan of square, pizza slices. And if you don't want to wait 20 minutes to have them prepare a made-to-order pizza, you can just walk by and grab a pizza by the slice. I did that one day, and I regretted it. It wasn't very good. It was kind of greasy. It was cold. It was limp. It was soggy. So forget the pizza by the slice unless you just don't care and you just want something to fill yourself up with. Wait and get the made-to-order pizza. It's much better. Their sandwiches. I had a sub sandwich one day, the meatball sub on embarkation day. Very good. So their sandwiches are very good at the New York Deli and Pizza. Grand Dutch Cafe is kind of the coffee shop. It's located on Deck 3 midship, right across from guest services. And this is an interesting place. This would be comparable, say, to the International Cafe on Princess, even though it's not quite to that level, because I think they open at 6:30 in the morning and they go until maybe 10 or 11 o'clock at night. They have very good coffee. This is where they have the baristas. They'll make any coffee you want, but you do pay for the coffee. In the morning for breakfast, they also have some cakes and croissants and different muffins and things that you can get. There's no charge for that. And then I think around 11 o'clock in the morning, they start serving sandwiches. And these are like Dutch specialties. These are not your normal things that, as North Americans anyway, that you would expect. They are kind of traditional Dutch dishes like pea soup or croquettes that are made from veal. They're very different, but they're very good. The real takeaway is Grand Dutch Cafe is not open 24 hours like International Cafe on Princess and some that you'd find on some other ships perhaps. But it was a great place for me in the morning to go have my coffee, do my blogging, very quiet, not too crowded. It does get crowded during the day, but not too early in the morning. Now, gelato is their kind of their ice cream where you pay for it. It's out by the pool, next door, right across from the dive-in hamburger place. I'd say the gelato is good. It was a little expensive. I think it was $2.50 for a couple of scoops, and you pay the 18% gratuity on top of that. I had the milkshake one day, way overpriced. I think ended up being like $6 or $7 for the milkshake. Had the Oreo cookie shake, and again, you paid the gratuity. And it was by the time you pay for it, it's like $6, $7, something like that, and not that good. It just not very rich and creamy, kind of milky. Had a little too much milk in it. So gelato, I don't know if it's great. Just get the soft serve ice cream in the buffet. I think it's probably just as good. Main dining room, we ate breakfast there twice. A little disappointed in the breakfast at main dining. Ricky would get the pancakes. They weren't super hot when they came out. I got the eggs Benedict. I tried it twice. The first time the eggs were so undercooked I couldn't eat them. I mean, the whites were just runny. Really, really bad. The whites weren't even cooked. And I ordered the eggs over medium or cooked medium. And they came out just super undercooked. The second time we tried main dining, I mentioned this to the waiter and said I wanted a medium, and they undercooked them the first time. Well, the next time they came out, they were like hard-boiled eggs. I mean, they were super hard. So they never did really master the eggs at the main dining room. We did have breakfast one day up in the buffet, and there was a girl there making poached eggs at her station. And Ricky got a couple of poached eggs, and she cooked them perfectly. They were perfectly poached. So if you want a good poached egg, go to the buffet, I guess. I don't know why they couldn't master that at main dining. It didn't upset me because I'm not a big breakfast eater anyway. I was just really wanting to try it. But they do sell a lobster Benedict for like $15 or $12.50 in the main dining room. And if I had paid $12.50 and got either one of those eggs, I'd had to send it back, and I wouldn't complain, but I would make sure they redid it correctly. Now, main dining we did not try main dining for lunch. They only have it on C days, and we only had a couple of C days, so we didn't get a chance to try that. But we did have dinner there twice. One just on a regular night, one on the grand or the gala gala night, I should say. And both times very good. Service very good. Drink service very good. They brought us a glass of wine that we liked. The food selection was very good compared to some other cruise lines we've been on. You got quite a few choices. The food came out hot. It came out in a timely fashion. The dining room was not overly noisy. We got good seats. We were on the anytime dining thing where you go in whenever you want. We got seated, right away. I'd say pretty good. We may have had to wait 3 or 4 or 5 minutes in line, and they gave us good tables. We always asked for a table for two, and they always accommodated us with a table for two. They always asked us, would you like to sit with other people? We said we'd really prefer a table for two. They got us taken care of. Good service. Food was generally good all the way around. No complaints there. So I think main dining is a good option on Holland America. I think it's one of the better main dining that we've had recently, just because they do offer a pretty good choice of dishes compared to some other cruise lines. One thing I will mention about main dining is a little disappointing is they don't offer the surf and turf anymore on the gala night. Last time I was on Holland America, you could get like a little fillet and a lobster tail, I believe, and that was kind of their surf and turf. They don't offer that anymore. Now you get like a slice of tenderloin, which was good, but it was kind of thin, and I believe a couple of shrimp, like some grilled shrimp, and that's their new, I guess, solution for surf and turf. And it was good. It just, the shrimp, I could have used 2 or 3 more. There weren't huge shrimp. So if they'd given you 3 or 4 shrimp, it would have been much better. They were very good. It's just not enough, not much of it. I'm sure I could have asked for more, but you shouldn't have to. So anyway, doesn't matter. Very good dinner, though. Other than that, it was just a little different than it was a couple of years ago. Only real, I would say, disappointment was Pinnacle Grill. We had lunch there one day. You can have lunch at Pinnacle Grill. It's $15 per person plus gratuity. I got the Pinnacle burger, which I've had in the past. Very disappointed in the Pinnacle burger this time. The meat just didn't have any flavor. It had this very strong onion jam or something, or bacon jam on top that kind of took over the flavor of the burger. The fries were very good. They were fresh and hot. Ricky had a couple of salads, and she just did not like the dressing on either one of the salads. So she wasn't that pleased with it. So Pinnacle Grill at lunch was a disappointment. A couple of days later, we went back to Pinnacle Grill for dinner. This is not inexpensive. This is about a $90 plus dinner to eat for 2 people at Pinnacle Grill. Atmosphere wonderful, service very good, food disappointing, wasn't worth the price. First time I think I've ever said that about Pinnacle Grill. I've always felt like Pinnacle Grill was a really good value, and I've always, we've eaten at Pinnacle Grill on several different Holland America ships over the years. Never had a less than wonderful experience, but on this ship, I just honestly, we were underwhelmed. The steak, I had a ribeye steak. It was cooked properly, but the meat itself just was like something you would get at Walmart. It was like it was not anywhere even close to prime. I'm not even sure if it would be considered USDA choice. It was a little tough. It was chewy. It was just didn't have any flavor. It just was not a very good steak. Ricky had I think she had the halibut. She had whatever the seafood offering was, and it was dry, maybe a little overcooked. Neither one of us had a good experience. Now, I will say that at lunch and dinner, both times, I had the crab cakes, and they're probably the best crab cakes I've ever had. But $90 for crab cakes is a little high. Like I say, we just left disappointed. The bread was good, but it wasn't hot. We wish the bread were served warm rather than just cold bread. I mean, it's really no different than the bread you get in the main dining room. Okay, let's talk about the burger at Dive In. I'm going to grade it about a 3.5 out of 5. It's not the best hamburger I've had on a cruise ship, but it was better than I remember at Dive In previously. I actually ate at Dive In twice, had 2 different burgers, and both of them were consistent. The fries, very hot, very fresh, very good. Dive In, I'd say 3.5 out of 5. We also ate at Canaletto, which is the ship's Italian restaurant. Now, what they've done, if you're not familiar with Holland America, what they've done is they've taken a little section of the Lido buffet and they've kind of sectioned it off, leveled up the furniture, you might say, and the atmosphere. And then at nighttime, it becomes an Italian, sort of an Italian bistro thing. Very good. Very pleased with everything at Canaletto. Salads were good. In fact, every dish we had at Canaletto was good. We went there twice. We went there again on that 11th night that we weren't supposed to be on the ship. And I had the same thing. The lamb chops were amazing. Very, very good. The meatball starter for me, excellent. I'm a meat guy because I low carb. So the meatball starter, very good. Ricky had the risotto, the tomato risotto. She had it twice. She had it both times. Excellent. Very, very good dish. Everything we had, all the appetizers, starters, everything, very good at Canaletto. Excellent service. At a great value at $19 per person. I think Canaletto is probably the best kept secret on the ship. I don't know. It was never full. When we were there, the place was half full. Go to Canaletto if you're on a Holland America cruise. You won't be sorry. We also dined at Tamarind twice, which is their Asian restaurant. And I'm telling you, this is probably, I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I'm gonna say it might be the best Asian food on any cruise ship. It was excellent. The starters were good. I had the sampler one night, the satay sampler, very good. I had the tom kha kai soup, which is like a chicken, coconut milk based soup. It's a Thai dish. Very good. Had a little spice to it, had a little kick. Very nicely done. Excellent. I had the barbecued ribs one night, the 5-spice ribs. Very good. I accidentally dropped one on the floor. They had to replace it for me. It was so tender, it just fell off the bone and fell on the floor. They brought me a new one. And my favorite dish, I had the lamb chops one night, which are excellent. But on my second night, I had the red curry chicken Penang curry. And I asked for it extra spicy. And man, they did. They made it spicy. It was hot, which is the way I like it. Thai food is supposed to be hot. And it was. It is probably the best Penang curry I've had. I know it's the best I've had on any cruise ship. It might be the best I've ever had anywhere. And I ate Penang curry at one of the TripAdvisor #1 rated restaurants in Bangkok, believe it or not. And I think the Penang curry at Tamarind was as good as what I had in Bangkok. It was that good. So high marks to Tamarind. Maybe the best Asian restaurant at sea right now. Now, right inside Tamarind is also this little sushi bar called Nami Sushi. And you can go in there and if you just want sushi. And they have a couple things on the menu also, like the Penang curry. They also offer that at Nami Sushi. In fact, I'm pretty sure if you wanted anything off the Tamarind menu, you could probably get it at Nami Sushi. But I had a spicy tuna roll one night. Ricky had I think it was the shrimp tempura roll. We had this edamame, like a spicy edamame that was very good. Everything there was good. I thought it was reasonably priced. It's a la carte. So you just pay as you go, whatever it is on the menu price. So as good as Tamarind and Nami Sushi are, very unexpected for me to say this especially, our best meal of the trip. If I had to pick one thing, and I always tell you on these dining reviews, what's the one dish that if I could have it right now and I could pick from anything on that ship, what's the one thing I would order again if I could only order one thing? And I'm getting ready to tell you, but before I do, I want to remind you, if you like this video, don't forget to click that subscribe button down below and make sure you click the notification bell so that YouTube will let you know when we come out with new videos, because we've already got a review of the ship, a full review. It'll be in the upper corner of this video at the end. Make sure you check that out. But let's get on to my favorite dish of the ship, and my favorite meal of the ship, unexpectedly for me, was at Rudi's Sel de Mer. Now, I ate at Rudi's Sel de Mer when I was on New Statendam back in 2019, and I was not impressed. I just ordered the wrong thing. They've changed their menu since then. They have some new things on the menu. I'm not a seafood guy. Ricky is more than I am, but I'm just not a fish guy. I'm a meat guy. I'm a red meat guy. But I did try, because for some reason I've been trying this lately. I had it on Celebrity. Calamari. I'm not a calamari guy either. This time they had a calamari dish, a fried calamari starter, and it was one of the best fried food dishes I've ever eaten. Certainly the best calamari I've ever had. And I think right now, if somebody said you can have anything sent to your house, hot, fresh, what would it be? It would be the calamari at Rudi's Sel de Mer. It was outstanding. Now, I had the lamb chops, which they also had rack of lamb. Very good. Excellent preparation. The service from our waiter was amazing. They had excellent bread. They actually brought out a baguette, a French baguette, with a variety of dips. They just did a much better presentation than they did at Pinnacle Grill. And the bread was better. It was warm. It was good. They brought out some butter for us. It was just a really well done meal. Great atmosphere. That's going to be the first place we go back to. You know, we had a very good experience at Rudi's on Carnival Mardi Gras last year. And we remembered that. We thought, well, we're going to give Rudi's another try on Holland America. And I'm telling you, it does not disappoint. If you book a reservation at Rudi's, I don't think you're going to regret it. Now, especially if you're a seafood lover, because that's their specialty. It's kind of a seafood bistro, you know, French seafood. Overall, I would say we were pleased with the food on Holland America. I think it met and in many cases exceeded our expectations. The only negative was the experience at Pinnacle Grill. Everything else I'd say was as good as or better than we expected. Very pleased. We did not try room service on this cruise. They didn't have a very big room service menu. One day I was thinking, well, I'll just order a burger and have it sent to the room, but you can't. There is no burger available on room service. They have some sandwiches. I think they have soups and some other things, but nothing that exciting. We just didn't use room service. Now, you could also have breakfast, but the breakfast menu for room service was also a little limited. You couldn't get eggs Benedict or anything like that, or poached eggs. I think if you go on Holland America Rotterdam, you're going to be very pleased with the food. Main dining room, if you're not a specialty dining person, I think you're going to be very happy with the Lido buffet, main dining, dive in, New York pizza and deli. Go there for breakfast. Don't forget my secret. Get that little breakfast bagel sandwich. I think you're going to have a good time on Holland America Rotterdam when it comes to food. So anyway, thanks for joining me today. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. That will really help us out with YouTube. And until I see you next time, just remember, smooth sailing.